This is the TAF Hub, a show brought to you by TAF Africa Global to educate you on real estate matters, to mentor you and inspire you.
After 48 years of working and also traveling all over the world, I am ready to share my experience with you, especially those young ones who follow me for inspiration. So I guess Mr. Hochiemy is next. Fady is no stranger to you guys, and he's going to speak, on passion. I'm sure you all have seen him somewhere or the other. Who doesn't know Fady here? Raise your hand. What does he do? So everybody knows Fady. What does Fady do? What do you know him for? Chocolate. Huh? So your chocolate thing is doing well, huh? Well, but it's out of passion that you're doing this. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Fady Hochiemy.
Well, it's great to be here. Thank you for inviting me again, Mr. Njie. Thanks for having me do the same talk on passion that I did last year. So when Mr. Njie called me first and told me to speak on passion, asked me to speak on passion, I was a bit worried. Am I going to repeat the same thing? Because most of you have seen this on YouTube. It was recorded, right? Who has seen the last talk on passion? Only one? Put your hand up if you've seen the don't be shy. Come on, wake up. Let me see some excitement, some passion in the crowd. Anyone saw the last one I did? Good. Well, that's good. At least you don't have to sit through it again. But I'm actually putting a twist to it a bit. But I'll go through the basics. But I want to also touch upon something Uncle TAF mentioned, that I'm becoming a public speaker. And again, this brings me back to this passion I'm discovering. Most people that I speak to, including myself, by the way, a couple of years ago, I would never have imagined standing on a stage speaking to a crowd. I still get nervous, but I turn that into a motivating challenge that pushes me to get better. But what I've realized is, to overcome that nervousness, what you realize that if you are sharing a story, you don't have to think of it like a speech or anything that is nervous. If you're sharing what you really love and what you really like, you wouldn't be nervous about it, because that's your story, right? I want to start by making a statement. When you work hard for something that you don't like, we call that what? Stress. Imagine you're working hard for something you don't like. That's very stressful. But when you work hard for something you love, it's passion. right? So try to think of that while I share with you some of my experiences. Now, the word passion comes from Latin. The root word comes from Latin. It means to suffer. It means to sacrifice for something that you love. Now, why is passion so important? Every leader, every successful person on earth, whether in business or in anything they do, they will always tell you that passion is a key success factor. Keep in mind that passion is an emotion, right? And what do we know about emotions? Emotions come and go. Today you might feel that you love something. Next month you forgot about it. You love something else, right? Some of you young guys have had multiple girlfriends in your life and boyfriends. You thought you loved them, but then you discovered that no, you love somebody else next year. So passion is an emotion. Keep that in mind. It could be negative, it could be positive. And you can have more than one passion at the same time. You could like multiple things as you go through life. But passion is so important because it gives us meaning to what we're doing. When you wake up in the morning, if you don't have passion for something, you're going to start your day and end it without any direction. You're going to be confused. You're going to be lost. Most people who are passionate about something, you'll realize they're so focused. They wake up with full of energy to achieve and pursue this passion that they have. It shapes your why and gives you purpose to what you're doing and to your life. Passion is something contagious. What do I mean by that? When you listen to people speak about something they're so passionate about, you are bound to be influenced, whether you like it or not. Most likely you would not leave the room. People like Uncle TAF, who's full of passion when he speaks about things. There's a lot of examples out there. It's contagious. It gets people listening to you when you speak with passion. Now, passion is also the difference between having a simple job and having a career. Some of you are just very bored in what you do, but you need that job. That is not a career. When you're passionate about something, it becomes a career, usually. You're building yourself up for the future. And for those of you who are always looking for followers, I know this is the hot topic now with social media. Everyone is looking for more followers, more likes. Who has the highest number of followers here? Put your hand up if you think you have a large number of followers. How much? How many? 1,000? 2,000? I can't hear you. No, among you guys. Uncle TAF has the highest for sure here, but among you guys, who has 1,000 followers? Yes, you have 1,000 followers. I'm not going to ask you what you do, but I'm sure you're passionate about what you say on social media. I'm sure you're sharing your story. You're not just posting pictures of yourself looking cute. You are cute, by the way. You're beautiful. But you're not just doing that. You're creating impact. You're sharing something that means something to you. And most people who have a large number of followers on social media usually have passion about something. You're not going to grow online or offline if you're not passionate about what you do. Keep that in mind. Passion is the difference between doing just the bare minimum and driving creativity and innovation. This is how things are created. It's by people who are passionate. Globally, you know them. Steve Jobs is one of them who started his small garage. It's a story of passion. He wanted to achieve something that he believed in. Now, most of us will face obstacles, right? There's not always great days. Some days are bad. But again, guess what? When you're passionate about something, it's going to push you to continue. You're not going to feel just down and give up. You're going to overcome those bad times and try to make sure you strive to be better. So passion is key if you want to succeed in the long run. Now, most of the time people ask, well, how do you discover your passions? Passion, Fady, okay, great. I don't know what I'm passionate about. How do I discover that? Who doesn't know what they're passionate about here? Put your hand up. This time I need some hands up, come on. 1, 2. If you don't know what you're passionate about, you're lost, you're trying to find your passion, put your hand up. High up. Great. Well, let me tell you how. See, first of all, you cannot dream of what you cannot imagine. I always say this. When we ask people, what are your dreams? It's a wrong question, because they can't dream of what they cannot perceive, what they can't imagine. Think about that. So what you need to do is create experiences for yourself. You have to create those experiences. You have to try new things. You have to meet new people, read, experiment, be curious. If you're going to sit in your room all the time, close your doors for the rest of your life, you're not going to discover what you're passionate about. Right? Get out of your comfort zone and connect and meet people as much as you can and discover what you may or may not like. Be curious. Don't keep doing everything, the same thing you're doing every day, because you're going to get the same result. So try to do different things, right? Pay attention to your emotions. All of us have emotions. All of us cry. Who doesn't cry here? Look at the men, they're shy, but they want to put their hand up. You know, it's an ego thing. We all cry. We're all emotional creatures. We all smile. We all laugh. We all feel love. We all feel sorrow, empathy. So listen to your emotions, and you may learn and discover yourself more. If you focus on what, after you're being emotional, think about it. What is causing you that feeling? What is making you happy? What is making you sad? You can discover a lot about yourself if you focus on your emotions. And let me say this, a lot of people like to surround themselves with people who are less than them because they feel confident or their ego is bigger, but that's not moving you forward. So always surround yourself with people who are smarter than you, inspirational leaders, intelligent, exposed people. Surround yourself with people above you, even if it feels uncomfortable first because you feel you're the smallest in the room. But that's how you're going to learn. You're going to discover a lot from these people who are better than you, not people who are worse than you. So the secret to finding your passion is not looking for it, it's actually doing. You have to act out your passion before you can feel it. Let me repeat that. You must act your passion before you can feel it. So go out and do things. Someone recently asked me, I had this Twitter space talk. We were talking about passion as well in preparation for this, by the way. I try to get, my content from some of that. So we had a talk on Twitter about passion, and someone asked a very nice question. They said, can someone really, he said, can I be passionate about something if I'm not competent at doing it? And the answer is yes. Because you can discover you love something, and that passion is going to drive you to pursue knowledge and become competent and develop the skills you need, hopefully, right? So yeah, the answer is yes, you can. And when you're passionate about something, no one can tell your story better than you. Keep that in mind, because it's your baby, it's what you feel. No one can say it better than yourself. I want to touch upon also the topic of entrepreneurship. I see a lot of training and a lot of talk around town all the time about training entrepreneurs. It's great to be an entrepreneur, but not everybody has to be an entrepreneur. Every entrepreneur needs what? Passionate employees, right? So you start your business on your own, but then if you want to grow, you need a team, and you need that team to be passionate. So keep that in mind. Not everyone has to be and should be an entrepreneur. Some people make great employees. Okay? Now, just because you're passionate about something, it doesn't mean you're going to succeed in life. There is 11 other TAFLA attributes. Passion is one of them. You need all those to become successful, right? So passion alone is not enough. Once you discover that you like something, what do you need to do? You need to do your homework. You need to develop some skills. You can say, hey, you know what? I love football. Well, if you're not going to go and train, you're not going to be good at it. And same applies to everything else you want to do. Besides being passionate, you need to be disciplined. Your work ethic, your attitude has to be correct. Being on time is part of that, as Uncle Taf mentioned earlier. Respect, honesty, these are all things you need in addition to being passionate about something. When you're passionate about something, please listen to others. Not just because you believe in something, you jump into it. And I've fallen for that trap before. I saw something I love and I just jumped into it and then realized later I should have listened. Whether it's my wife, my dad, my employees, my friends, I should have listened to them. They told me something, but I was blind to it because of that emotion, right? So be realistic when you're passionate about something. Listen to others, ask their advice. Some people have done what you're doing before. So why should you go through the same mistakes? Learn from their mistakes, if they're willing to share it, of course. Now, passion is something, of course, you cannot fake. Keep that in mind. So if you try to go on social media and pretend you're passionate just so, because Fady said you're gonna get more likes, that's not how it works. You cannot fake passion forever. So, today I want to also focus a bit on my personal passions. I think most of you know maybe a bit about me, but I'll tell you more about certain things that I'm very, very passionate about. Obviously, most of you mentioned chocolate. I discovered a couple of years ago that cocoa, the plant that gives us where chocolate comes from, grows in Gambia easily. And we have amazing soil, very fertile. All you need is water, and it grows. I have so many seedlings that I'm giving away almost for free. If you're interested, let me know after this. So this is another major crop that Gambia could benefit from. Agriculture is key, and it should be the present and the future. And I know, Uncle TAF, that's your new passion. I've heard you speak on about this in public. So that's something really amazing. But of course, growing cocoa is a farmer's job. I'm not a farmer. I discovered that you can make chocolate from this. That was the real motivation for me. And that's where this passion came about, that the fact that I can turn a bean and go through a very long process and make a beautiful chocolate bar that people love and are willing to pay for is just mind-boggling to me. Till today, I'm amazed by that story. I do it not for money. I do it purely as a hobby, as something I enjoy doing, I love. I used to wake up at 5 in the morning before I had to go to work to discover and improve on my chocolate making techniques. I would do this at 10, 11 at night. So ask yourself, what are you doing at 5 a.m.? What are you doing at 10 p.m.? How do you spend your 24 hours? We all have the same 24 hours, by the way. That's the same resource we all have. What do you do with that time? I'm passionate about many, many other things. So today I'm going to share some of those things. In business, at MFH Group, many of you know what we do. MFH Group is the umbrella company behind LG, Sunyu Care, King Food, and Banjul Pharmacy. It's a 53-year-old company. It has gone from one generation to another. And our vision has always been to add value to others. But for me personally, even though I have to do a lot of things in the company, I find most passion in branding and marketing what we do. So when you hear me speak about the products that we sell, whether it's LG or our paint, you're going to see a lot of emotion and passion in what I'm saying, because I truly believe in those products, right? I have a lot of other passions, personal ones, such as ending all forms of racism in the world. I don't know if I can achieve that, but Emily mentioned some of that globally. So that's another passion, something I'm very, very passionate about, breaking those barriers. I'm passionate about car racing. I love car racing. I love flying planes. I haven't yet, but one day. I have the simulators at home. I love building Legos. Who likes building Legos here? I know some of you do. Yeah, I see a hand at the back. They're addictive. That's one thing that can keep me sitting for 6 hours straight, building Legos. But I'm also passionate about doing everything I can to the best of my ability. And I mentioned earlier the bare minimum, and that's exactly the opposite of what I love doing. I love to do things with excellence. If I can't do it like that, I won't do it. I hate doing things in a very mediocre way. And I implore you all to do that. Whatever you're doing in your life, whether you're trying to be a mother, a father, if you're an employee, if you're starting your own business, even whatever you're doing, it could be something very small. Try to do it in the best way you can. Aim for excellence. Don't aim for little things. I hear a lot of people, startups that say, but Fady, why don't Gambians support other Gambians? Well, is your product good? Just because it's Gambian? No, we're not going to support it. Is it excellent? Today you're competing, and Uncle TAF always says this, you're not just competing with other Gambians. You're competing with other Africans, other people all over the world. It's an open market. So aim for excellence. That's something I'm very, very passionate about. What I also discovered is that I'm very, very passionate about adding value to other people. So whether as a business, if you add value to your customers, what happens? They come back. But that's what you want. You don't want just to make a one-time sale. Add value to people, whether they're your customers or not, and they're going to connect with you and want to spend their money at your business, right? On a personal level, I've discovered that we are all empathetic creatures by nature. So we have passion built into us. All of us here will always jump and help somebody struggling, right? If you see someone struggling, all of you will say, let me help him. We're empathetic creatures. What I also realized that I'm very passionate about is building people around me. And this is something I have seen actually not done quite often. A lot of us want to bring down other people because we want to feel that we're here and everybody is not a threat to us. We want to keep everybody below us, right? If they're smart, oh, they're a threat to me. You have to change that mindset. I'll tell you why. I've realized that if everyone around me is less than me, I'm not going to get better. So now if I make you guys better, one day I'm going to learn from you too, because you're going to discover things that I've never seen or heard of. So by helping others, you're helping yourself. Okay? Keep that in mind. And by developing others, you're developing a better society, you're developing a better country. And eventually you are part of that country as a citizen, you're going to benefit. I hope you all get the cycle. Yeah. I want to give examples of very, very passionate leaders. I mentioned Steve Jobs before. Today in the tech world, you can see Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg fighting it out. But these guys are so passionate. When they speak about their business, it's like they're speaking about a baby or something. But let's come to Africa. I mean, Uncle TAF mentions Wode Maya all the time. Wode Maya is one of the biggest, if not the biggest YouTuber in Africa. And his passion is very simple. He's passionate about, who knows Wode Maya, by the way? Who knows Wode Maya? Put your hand up. Do you know what he's passionate about? What does he say in every YouTube clip that he does? He wants to showcase the beauty of Africa to the world. And that is a simple, simple message. And because he's so passionate about it, people connect with him. And today he's one of the biggest in Africa on YouTube. Let's come to Gambia. I mean, Uncle TAF is a prime example of somebody who's driven by passion. I'm going to share a story. Maybe you forgot this one. Many, many, many years ago when I was still, I'm still young, but when I was much younger, about 18, 19 years ago, I was fresh from uni and I came and I was trying to become this successful young business person, similar to what you guys are doing now, start my career, start my path. And I was very passionate about the LG business, and my dad, he didn't give me the whole story, but he knows Uncle TAF very well. He said, no, you need to connect with Uncle TAF, he's great, and stuff like that. So anyway, so the AU Summit was coming in 2006. So maybe a year before that, Uncle TAF had the contract to do that, and he called me up, said, Fady, are you interested in providing the electronics appliances for all these 52 villas? I said, of course I am, you know me, trying to impress. And then he tells me, sure, meet me tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. 7:30 a.m. First I was surprised because no one's ever said that to me. But I was there. I was there before 7:30 a.m. And eventually the rest is history. We furnished all those villas with LG. But of course, I discovered that Uncle TAF is passion driven. And I think he discovered that about me too. And that's why today I'm still standing on the stage connecting with him. He's an inspiration to me, and I learned passion also through him. At 7:30 in the morning, he was ready because he woke up with a mission he's passionate about. I want to mention other names. I need to celebrate. We don't celebrate Gambians much. So we always say we need to celebrate people. So I want to mention a few names of people in Gambia who are very, very passionate. Of course, there's a long list. People like Salih Utal, who did Gambia Has Decided. Sal is a lawyer. He doesn't have to do this. But he was passionate about a cause, and he created Gambia Has Decided. People like Pastor Forbes, when you see them speak, you can feel the whole room is filled with energy because he's so passionate about what he does. People like my wife, Maya. Some of you may know her, some of you may not know her. She's very low profile. She would hate it that I'm mentioning this actually in my speech. But you know, I met Maya many years ago because she came back to Gambia to pursue her passion. She's a marine scientist, by the way. She wanted to pursue her passion of learning and discovering the marine life, the ecosystem in Gambia. And eventually she had a vision of establishing an institute that would teach anyone for free. So today she has her GREAT Institute, it's called GREAT, where anyone can go, all of you can sign up and go and learn about marine science, our marine ecosystem and the environment. And this is a non-profit, it's purely driven by her passion. Okay. I want to mention other names, people like ST. Everyone knows ST, right? He's so passionate about his music, but what else is he passionate about? Community development. And people connect with that. And he's not faking it, right? Remember, you cannot fake passion. I want to mention some people actually that are here. Some of you might not know Gando Ba. I'm sure you will know, you'll hear about him very soon. There's a new, I don't know what to call it, podcast that they came up with called the Daily Dose Plus. Some of you might be following it on social media. I met Gando, I would say about a few weeks ago, and the man is so passionate about what he's doing. He's so smart. And when I asked him, what drives you? He simply told me he's passionate about seeking knowledge and creating things. That's his passion. I want to mention somebody else. This is last but not least, in the crowd as well here. Do you all know Boubacar Sane? Have you heard of Boubacar Sane, the chosen one? That's his Twitter handle. Let me tell you the story of Boubacar. Boubacar Sane, he's in the crowd as well here. Boubacar is visually impaired. I'll tell you how I met him. There was a time I was doing a Twitter giveaway. I was giving away chocolate bars. And you know, with Twitter, you easily say, like this, share that, blah, blah. And I didn't know who are the winners. I did a random selection of winners, and I don't know your Twitter handles. So one day, I was outside my office, and I see somebody walking in, so clearly visually impaired. And I asked, how can we help you? And he said, I'm here to collect my chocolate bar. I said, what do you mean? He said, I'm one of those winners on Twitter. I said, but you're visually impaired. Are you saying that you follow me on Twitter, read everything I post, and retweet? He said, yes. He was surprised I was asking him. I'm like, wow, wait a minute. And at that time, Gano, some of you might not know Gano, another inspiration driven by passion. He's one of Gambia's greatest YouTuber right now. Gano did it. So Gano happened to be with me, and eventually Gano did an interview with Boubacar to showcase his abilities and his passion. Boubacar does everything for himself. Boubacar showed up here today on time by himself. Boubacar uses social media like all of us, Twitter, WhatsApp, all those stuff, and uses computers, and is a lecturer. When I asked him, Boubacar, what are you passionate about? And he said he finds joy in serving people. So he did not let that visual impairment stop him. He used that as a drive to pursue what he's passionate about. In fact, he has a lot of other passions. He wants to be a career diplomat. So Boubacar, a round of applause to you. So these are stories that inspire me on a daily basis. I hope they inspire you. These are people who are driven by passion. They want to succeed, they want to make it, they want to be better. Let me conclude by saying something about passion. Passion makes you thirsty to succeed at what you do, right? It's that thirst to succeed at what you do. Now, just like water tastes better when you're thirsty, guess what? The rewards taste much, much better when you're passionate about them. So if you're passionate about what you're doing, the reward tastes much, much better. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you for watching the TAF Hub. Until we come your way on our next episode, subscribe, like, and share.